What will you do when the stock market crashes again? Dick and Hurl Do Capitalism is free on Amazon, Smashwords, and most major ebook retailers. Links in description. What's up, everybody? It's your boy again, the Unabonger. And today, I want to talk a little bit about the recent kerfluffle with Onionson. I'm a banana! And
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
So if you're not aware or haven't seen a video about it already, Chris Hansen went to Onison's house to confront him about being a child groomer, I'm assuming, and Onision called the police about it. I'll post a link below, but here's a little taste.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay, and do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
And everybody on the internet is just laughing at this and ha ha ha. But the reason I'm making a video about this is because I actually have a different take on this situation. I'm not here to defend Onision. Yeah, all evidence is really leading towards he's a child grooming piece of shit, and he should probably be taken out in the street and just dealt with. However, I try to be a law-abiding citizen, and I think most of you are too. Whether we really like it or not, most of us just realize that the alternative is worse, and we just try to stick to the straight and narrow. But that we're getting to a point where we're going to someone's private residence and having cameramen hide out in the fucking bushes 100 fucking yards away taping you. This is a point where you're crossing the line as far as I'm concerned. What are you, a fucking cop? Are you a private investigator? Do you have any authority or jurisdiction in this? Or do you just want to fucking get YouTube clout? Do you just want to get internet clout for saying bad boy, bad boy? You're not the fucking cops, bro. Leave it to the fucking cops. Do you really want anybody in on your business, Chris Hansen? Do you really want people coming to your fucking private residence and knocking on your door saying, hey, why did you bounce a check, motherfucker? You know that's illegal, right? You know you shouldn't do that, right? Hey, by the way, I've got a camera crew 20 feet away. Why don't we talk about it? My guess is, without even looking, is that whatever state Onision lives in, they probably don't have a stand your ground law or whatever the fuck you want to call it, something kind of equivalent of, because, and I don't want to give anybody else advice in the world or this or that or the other. This is just a hypothetical. I'm just talking here, guys. You know, this is just hypothetically what I'm about to say. But I will tell you what, if somebody came on my property and they started acting like this is probably the first thing I'd do.
Hoes mad, 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 hoes mad.
And if that didn't work, I'd probably escalate from there. But the part that I find most fucked up about this is kind of a little bit later on in this 911 call.
No.
Okay.
Oh, he's saying, I want your side of the story, Greg. My name's not even Greg.
Okay. What is your last name?
My name is James.
Okay. Last of first of James is what I heard. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's saying, I just want to talk through the door.
Okay. And what's your date of birth?
November 11th?
November 11th of 8?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your best callback number?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any weapons in the home, James?
And here's where we get to the only thing the cops really give a shit about. Do you have weapons? Are you armed? And can you do anything about this? Or are you dependent on us? And they really want you to be dependent on us. They want you to be dependent on the fucking cops, on them. They want you to be weak and defenseless and saying, well, if he's not hurting you and he's not threatening you, you can't do anything about it. Once again, I don't know, but I would guess Onision lives in some weird fucking state where they've got some faggotry going on in their law system, and they basically say, hey, you can't fucking defend your own fucking property. Meanwhile, it doesn't appear that Onision even did kind of what a normal human being would do in that point. which is open the door and say, hey, get the fuck out of here, or yell through the door, hey, get the fuck out of here, that sort of thing. But once again, they probably knew he couldn't, and he didn't, and he got turned into a fucking joke again. You know, it's a joke and we're laughing, but what this really shows is how little the state gives a fuck about our personal safety, even though it's supposed to be in their hands, supposedly. And what they really want is basically less paperwork for themselves. It'd be interesting to know. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who do know basically how that conversation would have went if he said he does. Oh, spoiler alert. He doesn't have any weapons, and she just kind of keeps talking to him like a customer service fucking cunt. But it'd be interesting to know what the cop's response would really be if he said, yeah, I do have a weapon, and I'm gonna go out and get this motherfucker off my property. Again, I know it really looks like, at the very least, from the outside, that Onision looks like a grooming piece of shit, but it's not the first time a woman has lied in the history of the world either. If you weren't there, you don't really know what the fuck went on. A woman can fucking say anything she wants. And isn't it funny how all this kind of happens later? How this is all kind of happening after the fact. All I'm saying is, unless it's your daughter who's saying, hey, this guy fucking did shit to me, and you want to go all Punisher on his ass, you should probably take a step back and ask, what if somebody made this accusation about me? And what would I really do if somebody came to my house about it? Actually, now that I think about it, hey, am I the only one that remembers that basically Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator, was taken off the air because that show is fucking entrapment. And I think what the deal was that they kind of had somebody, they actually have somebody of age pretending that they're underage online. And they're, you know, texting to people or what the fuck ever. And I think the story goes that somebody was texting to these decoys online, but they ended up not going to meet this kid. They ended up not falling for this honeypot trap. And oh man, they really had a good fish on the hook though, because it was some fucking politician's brother or some shit or another, something like that. And anyway, so Chris Hansen and the boys, they decide, oh, he didn't fall for this honeypot entrapment scheme of ours? You know what we should do? We should go to his motherfucking house, and we should go arrest him there. And I think what happened was the guy killed himself. He blew his fucking brains out. Does anybody else remember this, or is it just me? Anyway, that's my take on it. Leave your comments below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Follow the Humane Garbage channel on BitChute. Follow me on Twitter. And as always, remember to hit the pipe harder than you hit your wife and kids.
In a dystopian future where our elected leaders are liars, everyone is a clone after the devastation of the war, and all the continents of the world have conglomerated into one nation called Numerica. President Barack Obama has illegally enacted the terror side effect to maintain power and preserve the status quo through fear and ignorance. From the word terrorism, the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims, and the suffix side, the act of killing. The terror side effect is a top-secret government mind control program designed to turn the average person into a public shooter, killing everyone they can for no apparent reason and then themselves, leaving the rest of society afraid of each other and apathetic to their rights being revoked by the government for safety, because it's the easiest way to control everyone. Black Osama in the Terror Side Effect is a political science fiction novel that asks its characters and readers, how much control do you really have? Now available at all major ebook retailers.